Owen, what made you decide to join this ticket?
Yeah, it's a big question, but I think it breaks down into three parts. The first part was a gathering sense of dread about the doom cycle of our two-party system. It felt like we were seeing the same thing play out again, but worse, both at the national level and at the state and local level. And it felt like that if we don't build up alternatives to the two corporate parties that have built this system to benefit themselves and a very few wealthy elite, that we would be destined for more of the same. So that was sort of using a negative feeling for a positive motivational. I think a lot of folks are feeling that sense of dread, that sense of anxiety, and that creates a lot of pressure to fall into line. But I think folks can also break out and do something outside the box, do something more revolutionary or push for more structural change. So that was the first thing. The second thing, sort of the other side of that coin, is an optimism based on experience that organizing works. So on the one hand, I was feeling this sense of dread, things are getting worse. On the other hand, real confidence that when we organize, when we take collective action, when we build strategies that are realistic but also ambitious, that we can change the dynamics in our communities for the better. And then the third reason that really prompted me to want to run, besides partnering up with you, Andy, was dynamics specific to this electoral cycle and this campaign in particular. And so when I started researching more the incumbents and seeing how big money was deriving some of their decision making and how there wasn't really an accountability structure built in, given the century-long control of the legislative branch, which is supposed to be a check on the executive branch by the Democratic Party, given the state of the news media, a lot of great journalists doing the best they can with limited resources, or more corporate-minded bosses, sort of prompted me to say, okay, well, if we're not pushing out stories based on real research on donations and how that's driving the attitudes of the more Miller administration, as well as some of the other candidates who will be in this race, then who will. So those are really the three reasons. Pessimism, optimism. So coming together as optimism, and then specific factors of this race.